200, whatever, you know. And those are the ones we shot first. Now, that was the first block. Those are the episodes shot first, and there's a big difference between those 3 episodes and then the rest of that season, and then the show after that. And I think after the first 3 episodes, people realized how good it was going to be, and then really started focusing a little bit more, and the whole thing started to become a little bit darker from that point. Unfortunately for me, those 3 episodes were the first 3 that I appear in. And I've said publicly many times, and I think that, you know, that the tone of those 3 episodes is so much different, like the Slovenians and the rubber suits and the plastic fort on me taking pizza and all that kind of stuff. And to be quite honest, I think the performance that I gave, mostly being directed, and also the tone of those episodes made me look like a complete absolute buffoon. And I've said publicly, if anyone who's read the interview, I've said publicly, you know, I'm really not happy, not with the episodes, because I love the show, but in terms of the tone of those 3 in my performance, I was really not happy at all, and have consistently not been happy. And I think that it really gave a lot of, it was really, when people were like, who was this Mickey character we hate, and blah, 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 I had no problem with that, because I understood it. It was ridiculous. It was like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Then that block got filmed. Keith Buck directed it, who I still know is a friend of mine. He directed it. But then, as you can see from the episodes that obviously came in between there, 2 and 3, and then 6, which was Dalek. You know, those were the second block. But the tone was completely different. Everyone was playing it a lot straighter and stuff like that. So there's me running around with buckets on my foot and all this nonsense, and then running into walls and stuff because I'd been told to do that. And then all of a sudden, it became a different show. You know, that was a problem for me. But I went away, and Russell said, I like what you did so much, even though we know how you feel about it. I like what you did so much. I'm going to bring you back for episode 11, which he hadn't written yet, because he hadn't actually written episode 11, which became Boomtown. And I went away, and in my personal life as well, we had a massive car crash in Utah. Like 5 of us came off mountain, came off a ravine or whatever in Utah in the mountains as I was on vacation. Rolled the car about 6 times, slipped on black ice, and we all came out of it untouched, not a scratch. Like everything else was destroyed, car was destroyed, things inside the car were destroyed, and 5 of us were unscratched. And I think what I was thinking already, plus the fact we've been through that, made me really sort of go, right, I'm not going to go back, and if they say run into the wall, I'm going to question it. I'm not just going to do this and do that. And in Boomtown, you see a very definite change in not only myself, but the character from that point, obviously, as Russell's writing. And then, you know, by the end, in the last 2 episodes, I've got the haircut and stuff like that. And then in between seasons, Russell said, you know, I really like who you are, and I see that it's not that you can't do the scared thing, but I see that you're such a different guy. I mean, I'm generally a pretty cool guy, you know. Throw that out there. He says, but I'm going to change his direction. And season 2 is the beginning of the change. And it goes on from there. And I think the character arc that Mickey went on throughout the seasons, turning up at the end of 4 and 5 as well, is probably one of, probably by accident, not necessarily by design, and then later by design, probably one of the better character arcs that any character's been through in the show. And so I ended up being really chuffed with it.
May I know?